Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished colleagues. I want to welcome you into the new year, the year 2024, and I wish you a very happy and fulfilling year. And at the same time, I want to welcome you to the 2023-2024 academic session of our university. Now, this is the first webinar series of the university. About this webinar series, I must say that it's an idea of the newly elected Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic Designate, Professor Olukayode Akinyemi. He came up with this brilliant idea, and the management just has to support it because it's something that we believe will add value to our university. And he has graciously asked me to present the first webinar in this series. Now, my address today will be to every staff, every student, and also every stakeholder in the Funaab project. And the address will be broken down into about 4 sections, 4 segments. Number 1, let's look at the new session and our expectations. When I say our expectations, that means our expectations as the university management. The first thing that should come to mind when we look at this is the issue of our latest ranking and the implications. About a week ago, we all woke up to hear that our university, the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, has been ranked as the best university of agriculture in Africa and as the 7th best university of agriculture all over the world. Dear colleagues, this is no mean achievement, because when we talk about universities of agriculture, in Nigeria alone, we are now about 5 or so 6 universities of agriculture. About 5 federal, and I think a state also has a university of agriculture. And then when you think of Africa, there are so many universities of agriculture all over Africa, and we have been ranked the best. This is a very challenging development. And then when you look at all over the world, we are 7th in terms of the universities of agriculture. And I want to believe there are hundreds of universities of agriculture all over the world. And we have to look at what are the implications of this ranking and how do we need to adjust ourselves and react to this new development. Number 1, definitely, this has put so much on us to not only sustain this ranking, but to improve on it. And as you know, there is a saying that it's easier to get to the top, but the challenge is staying at the top. We need to let people know that this ranking, this achievement, is not by accident. It's something we worked for. It's something you labored for. Every one of us, we've given our best. We've driven ourselves. We've challenged ourselves, and we have proposed to give our best wherever we find ourselves. And God has blessed us with this achievement. So, going forward, what are our expectations? Our expectations from every staff, student, and stakeholder in the Funaab project is that 1, we need to work as a united force. We need to double our efforts. We need to increase on what we're doing if we really want to stay on the top. And staying on the top comes with its own satisfaction. I believe that every one of us will be happy with this achievement. We'll be able to hold our heads high that indeed I belong to this great university. And so we must work together. We must synergize in our various units and in whatever we do. We must not work in silos. Rather, we must work together. We must be able to link ourselves so that whatever it is that we're doing, together we can achieve more. That is what this time calls for. Then, of course, individually, at personal levels, we must determine that yes, we must be regular at work. I want to charge us. I want to demand from us, and I want to appeal to us that we should please be regular at work. Yes, these are challenging times. These are times when you consider, do I have enough money to put fuel in my car? Do I have enough money to transport myself to work? But please, tough times never last, but tough people do. So regularity at work, punctuality at work. Even when I decide that yes, I have to be there because so much depends on my performance, we must on purpose also determine to come early, so that it's not that we just stroll to the office around 9, 9:30 or 10. No, it will not work. It will not augur well for us. So we are regular at work, we are punctual at work, and when we get there, when we get to work, we give our best to whatever it is that we're doing. And also, don't forget, we must work by the rules. There are rules and regulations that bind us together. We're not a banana republic. There are rules and regulations for junior staff, there are rules and regulations for senior staff. Please let us abide by these rules so that we don't run foul of them, so that we do all that we have to do within the confines of the rules and regulations, so that we will not be discouraged when things happen. So I want to charge us and to challenge us to please work by the rules. And before I leave this aspect, there's something that I also want to please plead with us, and that is, please let us keep healthy lifestyles. For all stakeholders in the university, many of us have been here for long, some 10 years, some 20 years, some 30 years, and even above. Let's remember, we're not getting younger. We're not getting younger. The challenges are out there. Financial challenges, emotional challenges, societal challenges. Don't let us internalize them too much. In addition, let's change lifestyles where necessary. Let us adopt healthy lifestyles because we don't want to lose anybody in this new year. It's our prayer that God will preserve us. It's our prayer that He will keep us. He will strengthen us for the task ahead. As we do this task, please let's know how to pace ourselves in whatever we are doing and to adjust to live healthy lifestyles. As we progress in the year, the health services of the university, they are poised ever than before to help us to live healthy lifestyles this year. Please, that place is open to us, not only when we are sick, but even for consultations, for ideas, and they will be coming with talks from time to time. Please, let's listen. They are experts, they are professionals. Let's listen to them and let us adjust where necessary. And of course, let me quickly add this. We have a gym on campus. Many of us will not know. I must confess, I've not been there before. But then, please, we need to go there. We need to exercise. Exercise is different from stressful perform activities. So please, let's take note of this. And then number 2, the second thing I want to lay before us this afternoon is that the new session that we are in now, what are our plans as management? You know, when we say management, of course, initially comprises of the principal officers of the university. But then it also cascades down to expanded management. We have the deans, we have the directors, we have the heads of departments. They are all part of management. You are all part of management if you fall into that category. So what are the things that we have put in stock? Let me say this first of all, that we are committed to making and to giving Funaab, a very conducive working environment for every one of us. And not just for the staff, even for the students. The glory of our university is that we will make the learning environment one that the students will be so much proud of. And so, for this year, we are committed to upgrading the lecture theaters, the lecture halls. For instance, as we speak, there are efforts going on to renovate several of our lecture theaters. Talk of MPBO 1, MPBO 2, the 1,000-seater lecture theater, the laboratories. They are currently undergoing a facelift, and we are making efforts to ensure that this is done as soon as possible. We want teaching and learning to be effective and to be pleasant experiences for everyone. So, for instance, this morning, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, the Chairman of Team Tech, the Chairman or the Coordinator of the Quality Assurance Unit, they've all gone around and they've been going around to ensure that the multimedia projectors that are supposed to be in the halls, that they are working, so that lecturers will not be sweating while they are delivering lectures, so that students will also not be sweating while they are listening and learning. So we are committed to ensure that we have a good learning and teaching environment. Also, we want to do more to improve, to sustain and improve on our ranking. Yes, we are there, but we want to do more. There are still better things to do, more grounds to conquer. And so we're committed to this. We will improve on infrastructural development. We have talked about laboratories, lecture theatres, and lecture halls. Of course, we will improve on other physical facilities such as offices, workplaces, workstations for those in engineering. We're going to improve on the workshops, the engineering workshops. Even we are going to provide more work tools. Towards the end of last year, you will see that a lot, and when I say a lot, we're not talking about 20 or 30 or 40. More than that, desktop computers, some laptops were issued so that we'll be able to perform our functions more efficiently. This year, we promise to improve on that one. So, on terms of infrastructure, we will make concerted efforts to ensure that we address them. Of course, the resources are paltry, the resources are not many, but then we promise to judiciously maximize the available funds that we have. And then number two, we also promise human capacity development. In terms of human capacity development, there are a few options outside of the university. There are a few places where we can get this, chief among which is TED Fund. Last year, about 100 of our staff benefited from staff training. These are the funds that we have in TED Fund, and we made sure that we quickly moved so that members who are interested will access these funds, both academic and non-teaching. And this year will not be an exception. Of course, on our own part, we have set aside some form of money for training, conference attendance, and so on. This will also go side by side. And we're also exploring other opportunities, other places where we can get funding so that more staff will attend trainings, conferences, seminars, and the like, such that we will develop ourselves. And on this issue of development, I want to also please challenge each and every one of us. Let us work to improve ourselves. Let's determine to be more, because it is when we are more personally that we can do more. And it is when we do more that we can get more. I know it's our personal aspirations at individual levels to have more this year. Yes, I would like to have this. There's this project that I'm personally working on. But the basic in all of this is to be more on our own. To be more effective at work, to be more understanding, to be more knowledgeable, to know more, and all of that. So please, let's commit ourselves to this. As much as we have opportunity, let us develop ourselves. It is the starting point for human capacity development. And of course, thirdly, welfareism. We're committed to the welfare of every staff and students. On our own part, we have started this year with one resolve to ensure that whatever is due anybody, we will not deny you. We will not deny you. Whatever it is that we can do to ensure that you have a good working environment, to ensure that you have pleasant experience, we will go out of our way to ensure that we do this. And so, we want to say that all our efforts are geared towards this, and we will not fail in that regard. In addition, we shall listen to you. We shall be more responsive. And I'm asking us, let us all work together. As I said earlier, let's synergize. Let's come up to ask questions where you feel you are not satisfied. At whatever levels, at whatever level of administration, of leadership, please feel free to approach those who are in authority. We have promised, and we'll keep to our promise, to be a listening administration, to ensure that whatever it is that is not clear, we bring clarity to that place, to that issue. And together, we shall work efficiently. We shall work with minimal conflicts. And I'm appealing, please, let's shun all forms of conflicts, fightings, quarrelings, and so on. Normally, we're supposed to spend at least 8 hours of our lives, out of our 24 hours in a day. We spend about 8 hours here. And those 8 hours should be spent in peace and in tranquility. So I'm asking that we do this. We promise that with the little funds that we have, we shall prioritize the projects that we are going to do. Already, efforts have been made to work on commencing some projects this year. As far as we are concerned, yes, funding will come from a few sources. We will maximize those sources. We will not let any fund be wasted. And then coming to our IGR, I want to plead with all IGR units, those units that are generating funds, and also those that can generate funds. Please come on board. Come on board, generate the funds, and we shall together maximize the use of the funds. That one I want to assure you. For those that have generated, please, let's look around. The leaders in those units, heads of departments, heads of units, deans of colleges, directors, when there are funds, let's prioritize based on critical needs in the system. Because when we do this, then we'll be more comfortable working in this environment. Before I round up, I want to also say this, to bring this to our notice. The 31st convocation ceremony of our university will come up on January 26th, that's Friday, and Saturday, January 27, 2024. This will be the 31st convocation ceremony. Of course, some people may say, wow, we did one just some months ago. Yes, we had the 30th convocation on August 11th and 12th. But then, since then, we have graduated a new set of our students. On December 4, 2023, the Senate of the University met and approved results of graduating students. And so, we shouldn't graduate these students and let them just loaf around and just wait till probably next year, November or December, before we allow them to have their convocation. It will be the joy of these graduates and their parents and their families to come together to celebrate as soon as possible before the emotional fulfillment, before it thins out. So that's why we have decided that we're going to have this convocation January 26th and January 27th. And of course, one other significant thing that will happen at the convocation ceremony on January 27th, please remember, the January 26th will be the convocation lecture. Convocation lecture on Friday, January 26th by 3 p.m., while on January 27th by 10 a.m. there will be convocation for first degree, higher degrees, and postgraduate diploma on that same day. It's just one set, so we believe that we should be able to get through as soon as possible. But in addition, we also looked around and said that we must bring more eminent Nigerians to the Funaab family. And the management proposed to the Senate, and the Senate has graciously accepted that Professor Atairu Jega, former ASU National President, former chairman of INEC, former Vice Chancellor, Bayero University, Kano, will be given a honorary degree award, DSc, honoris causa, DSc Science, on that day. That's on the 27th of January. And to go along with him, Mr. Fola Adeola, an eminent Nigerian, an entrepreneur, a businessman, a philanthropist, a co-founder of Guarantee Trust Bank, that bank that we all know, that most of us will all patronize, is a co-founder of the bank. On that day, he too will be given a honorary DSc, honoris causa in science, on that day. So these two eminent Nigerians are coming, and we want to believe that their family members, their friends will accompany them. So please, let's make it a joyous occasion. Let's make it a grand occasion as we honor these two eminent Nigerians. Distinguished colleagues, stakeholders in the Funaab project, we thank God for last year, and we are looking forward to a greater year, a better year, year 2024, in all its ramifications. We believe God that it will be a glorious year. We believe God that He who was with us last year, who helped us to move this far, He will help us this year so that we move further in the journey of making progress, in the journey of building lives. Don't forget our tripodal mandate: teaching, research, and community engagement. As we pursue this, God is with us, and this year will not be an exception. So once again, I welcome you to this year, and I determine, on our part, we are determined that this shall be a glorious year. Please come on board. Let's work together. Let's synergize for the progress of the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta. Thank you so very much.